Charlotte Source for Hip Hop and R&B. You're live with Ace, man. Right now, I have to bring this guy on. This is like the mediator of world peace, the mediator of black love. Yeah. He's what you call the substance of true conscious hip hop. My brother Common is in the building.
What up, Ace? I gotta say, man, that intro, yo, you really hit the themes of some of the things that I really want to be, and what I want my music to be, what I want my books, who I am. So I thank you for that. Give thanks, man.
Bro, I literally worked on an introduction since 5 o'clock yesterday. Because I can't just say, hey, we got Common in the building. Like, I have to talk about the accomplishments Common has. I mean, Golden Globes. Yeah. You've won countless awards. You've even been invited to the White House.
Yes.
Recall the moment you sitting with Obama talking with him. What was that vibe like, man?
Man, I was like overwhelmed. It was certain moments where, you always tell yourself to be present. Like, you try to be present.
Yeah.
But it still was certain moments where you like, man, I'm in the White House talking to President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama over here. We drinking wine and music is playing. Like, Nas comes over the speaker.
I was just gonna ask you, what kind of music did they play in the White House?
Like, Nas was playing. This was President Obama's playlist. It was a variety. It was other music too, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Then my song, The People, come on too. I'm like, I stayed in the conversation, but I was like, damn, my song is on I'm on his playlist. Like,
and you in the White House.
In the White House.
They gotta be the good moment.
Yeah,
man.
that's a moment where you just be like, thank you, God. Like, I know only you got me here.
Yeah. I can't buy a ticket to get in this house. Like, you got me here.
You got me here. And, it's just one of those things where I'm extremely grateful for them moments. I try to, when I say being present, I try to take in those moments and not, like, be doing the other stuff or be thinking about other stuff. But I'm like, I'm here with this person.
Yeah.
I'm in this moment. I'm on this stage. Like, that's how I try to strive to take in those moments.
Yeah, and when you put out a project, man, it's one of them projects that stick.
Yeah.
Like, what's so precious about Let Love Have the Last Word?
Well, I think the precious thing is that it's the honesty of me telling my stories is like it relates to the human heart, to the human spirit. And that is like a black man talking about things that sometimes we don't talk about in our communities.
Yes.
And also just talking about things like God, and saying it with, being proud of my relationship with God and talking about working on that. And talking about working on self is things we sometimes don't discuss. Or therapy, is things that we as a community be like, man, I don't need no therapist, but man, these are things that I feel like I put out there so that it could be beneficial to people that's around the world, around the universe, and that's the energy I put in and I try to do exactly what you said, create something that'll be here, that'll stick with people, that'll stick with them for not just this generation, but generations beyond. Yeah.
Like this book, man, I was reading a few descriptions, just doing some research on it. It really seems like this book is like the Bible to deal with mental health.
I would, I'm a big reader of the Bible, so that can help you with a whole lot of things if you choose to read the Bible.
Yeah.
But that being said, this is it's a person telling that story, me telling my story, and it's also definitely there for you to help know how to deal with mental health or access people who will help you deal with mental health. And I felt like I needed to bring that up because, like I said, in the black community, it's a stigma around it. We always, growing up, cats be like, man, you crazy if you say you need some help. But man, when you think about the trauma that we experience, like, especially some of the young people, what they've been experiencing, like just growing up, whether it's from people talk about you all the time, to bullying, to people seeing people killed, or having a family member lost. So it's just the pressures of life. To have somebody to talk to that's professional that could help you deal with those situations will give you a healthier, happier life.
Yeah.
And that's what I want people to have.
So, in your opinion, which hurts more to you? Loving someone who hurt you or forgiving someone who hurt you?
That's a great question. I believe that the truth of the matter is that both are loving someone who hurt you is, to love someone who hurt you, you have to forgive them at some point.
Yeah.
But the forgiveness is the most hurtful aspect of it because that's the part you got to work through. Like, to forgive someone takes a lot, and you have to pay attention to it. But so does loving somebody, and that's why I even entitled the book "Let Love Have the Last Word," and the album, which we'll talk about at some point. But I entitled it that because I'm like, man, this is an action word. It ain't just like, man, all right, I love you, and then everything is good. You got to pay attention to that love, like, and be like, okay, how does that love apply today, or how does that love apply when I'm mad at you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can say, yo, you my brother, I love you, but then if you did me wrong, am I still gonna show that love? Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, applying at that level. So forgiveness would be it's the struggle to get to that love.
Oh man, there's some gems right here. Comment in the building. So man, you know, I'm just curious. As a father, when your daughter opened up to you about certain things, how did it make you feel, man? Like as a black dad personally, did it trigger past emotions? What?
Yeah. Well, you know, from what you're referring to is when my daughter, and I talk about it in the book, gave me a call and said, you know, Dad, you ain't that good of a dad. I didn't think you was the best dad growing up. And, you know, this is the reasons why. And it was really hurtful for me, and I was disappointed, and I was a little mad too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Like,
as you should be. Yeah. You know, you're your dad. You're providing.
Yeah.
You're doing all these amazing things, and you're trying to secure the bag for her, but also yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, you say this, like,
yeah, exactly. Like, what
else do you want?
Right, exactly. You like what you. So, but throughout all me being defensive, eventually I was like, had to respect that this is how she felt. This is what she felt as a child.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, all right, it ain't no right or wrong in this situation. This is what you feel. And these are some of the things I did. And I wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
So I did do some things that were good for you but though you see those things, you also were hurt by these other things of me not being there, being on the road. So I had to respect that. And that's what I talked about in practicing love. Is like, sometimes you might not agree, but love is still like, okay, I don't agree with you on this thing, but I'm still gonna respect what you're saying and hear you out, you know. And I heard her out, and as a dad, it just made me be like, we got closer. You know what I'm saying? We got cooler. It was like that. You know how after you go through stuff with people, it
brings you,
it brings you closer.
Yeah.
And obviously you're already naturally close with your daughter, but sometimes going through stuff it makes the relationship stronger.
Yeah. Man, during a recent interview, man, you were talking about some dark moments in your childhood.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and I've never expressed this to anyone. So this is kind of like a big moment for me too. But when I figured you would be here, I was like, I think I'd get the advice from him. Mm-hmm. How did you get over being molested as a child? Mm-hmm. Once it triggered as you got older, like, damn, I was molested by my cousin.
Right.
Because it happened to me at 9.
Really?
So it's like, I'm at the point now, do I forgive him and rebuild as a cousin, or do I just keep the space and just forgive him and keep on moving with life?
Right.
Because I'm kind of like at that bridge. Do I cross?
Yeah.
Or do I turn the hell back and go back the other way?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, brother, for even being courageous enough to say that.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that I feel like when I was talking about things we don't talk about in our community, we two men right here that it happened to.
Yeah.
And when we don't talk about it, we perpetuate the cycle of it. You know what I mean? Like, because kids feel like they can't talk about it, or we don't get to the forgiveness and the healing of it, so that, you know, the next person won't want to go out and do those things, you know? And to answer your question, I think the forgiveness has to happen for you
Yeah.
and for that person. Meaning you got to do that for you, and you want to forgive that person because you also, and do it in your process. I'm not telling you how. Like, I'm still in the process, like, of I forgive the person that happened to me with. That was my god brother's cousin.
Yeah.
And I ain't got nothing, but I'm just sending prayers off. If I see him, I'm a respect and give him love and respect. I can't say exactly how I'm gonna feel in the moment at first, but the point is, I think when we carry that stuff with us, it weighs us down. Meaning, if you don't, like, if you hold on to it and hold on to the pain of it, the anger of it, the shame of it, the guilt of it, then it wears on you, and you deserve better. You was just a young man that just was trying to live, and that happened to you. So you don't have to carry that into your adulthood anymore by working on that forgiveness.
Because it's heavy, brother. I've been carrying that since I was 9.
Yeah, that's
like, I never really told my mom about it.
Yeah.
Never talked to my family about it. One, because, you know what's crazy? And not to make this a race thing, bro, but I feel like, and I was just telling him, just telling Jano, I was like, a lot of things in the black community get swept under the rug that really needs to be talked about.
Bro, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's one of the main ones that, there's millions that this has happened to, and it's like, as family, they say, well, you can come and talk to us, you can trust us, we're going to protect you, but how do you say you love someone and you take innocence at a young age?
Yeah, that's, man. And the thing is, a lot times in family, sometimes we don't talk about it, and then if you do talk about it, it's told to stay hush on it.
Yeah.
And the family won't go to the person who is the perpetrator and, like, check them and get them into some type of help, or like, because you obviously, to be in that state, to have to want to molest someone, you have to have an illness there. Something ain't right.
Something's going wrong.
Something going wrong.
Yeah.
So that person needs some help. So, but if the family is, I think our generations and our community was like, so, like, didn't want this person to fall, or like feel like be cast out. Meaning, the uncle that did it, the cousin that did it, the mother of the family didn't want to point that person out because they cared about that person so much. But what about the child, and how do you stop that? And a lot of times, just what about the child, and how do you stop this person from doing those things, is to expose it and check them and make sure that they going to get work done on themselves. Yes. And a lot of things passed on from generations really came, a lot of secrecy is, I was just reading something about this, talking about how some of the things that the older generations passed on was, like, it was certain things that happened in secret. Like, this almost, like, and these are things that we told to keep secret. But if you keep a secret, like, it's almost like you harboring the pain and the hurt of it.
Yeah, and that hurt's been passed, well, like you said, through generation, and it gets stronger, and it gets stronger. It's like a disease.
It is a disease. That's a great, Ace. That's a great way to call it, brother. It's a disease, and if you keep passing this disease, like, that's why these conversations, like, it take brothers like yourself and myself to say, hey, man, this stuff happened, man. This is how I'm getting out of this situation. I'm gonna forgive. I'm gonna work on myself. Different therapy has helped me, or whatever helped you, mindfulness, praying, all the things, praying to God and making sure you build that relationship. That's been first and foremost for me.
Yeah.
But also just different things help me to heal myself. And that has to happen. And then you got to talk about it so more people won't be out there like, yo. So more people will come out and say this happened, and they'd be like, man, I'm not going to allow this to happen to any more of people in our generation. Look, my young daughter, son, cousin, friend, if this happens to you, I want you to come talk to me about it. It's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
But the fact that we talking about it will make some young person know it's okay to talk about it if it happens to them, and they don't have to carry that for the rest of their lives. Wow.
We have a real issue here in Charlotte, man. Murders are through the roof.
Oh, really?
what's some advice that you could give to the millennials?
Yeah. Well, man, I always think, man, look at your life and think how valuable it is.
Yeah.
And find something that you really care about and dream about and focus on that, work towards that. And anything that's not aligned with that, anything that ain't on that path,
Yeah.
man, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, meaning like to go take someone's life or go after somebody money for that ain't working towards your dream.
Yeah.
And that's in fact you destroying not only yours but then a lot of other people's too. And if you're not even thinking about that other person yet, think about yourself. But you should be thinking about that other person because that other person represents you. They're a reflection of you too. And I think, find some stuff you love, man. If you the thing that kept me, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Look, it's gang banging. It's the same thing that's happening here in Charlotte. It's going on in Chicago, right? Yeah. And when I was growing up, it was the same thing. The thing that kept me not going too far and getting in trouble, because I got in a little trouble and stuff, but the thing that made me, I had a dream, a hope that like I could do something and be something in life. And each and every one of you, to the youth in Charlotte, to the people in Charlotte, everybody got something that they can contribute to this earth, a gift, something they're passionate about. If you don't know what that is right now, find it out. But you got it, and you could come from the most difficult situations and make it. I sat on a panel with dudes that all grew up in Chicago. One with Virgil Abloh is now the head of Louis Vuitton, designing Louis Vuitton. Don C., who was Kanye's like creative director, right?
For the longest.
For the longest,
yeah.
Now has his own company, is designing Jordans and Nikes. These are all people that came from Chicago. We all came from. It's people from your town that have elevated, not just only in entertainment, sports, and those things. Those are great places to do it. Also, but come on, you could do it in tech, in technology, and in architecture, art, education as a teacher. So. Find something you love to do and go get it, man. Yeah. Go get it. To the ladies and brothers, go get it. Sisters and brothers, go get it. And that's my thing. Is just pursue them dreams, and you won't even have time to go out there trying to, take somebody off the planet. It won't be worth it. And if all else fails, also know that, man, your life is valuable, so value someone else's.
Exactly. How strong is the black vote in 2020?
Man, for us to see the changes we want to see in this state, in this country, we got to vote, because our vote is like the things that have shifted. The time we was able to get President Obama in office, a lot of that was us. A lot of people that candidates, black or white, that have got into office is us. Like when we show up and vote, it's just like our dollar. It shifts. It shifts the paradigm for America.
Yes.
And all these laws that you see in like them talking about reversing, pro-choice when it comes to abortion.
Yeah.
Voting laws is going on. All these like old way of thinking, old American way of thinking, we allowing that by not going out and voting. Exactly. We allowing those people to stay in office. We should take responsibility for having Donald Trump in office, because we could have went out and voted and been able to change this election. Exactly. But we should look at the past and be like, we ain't gonna allow that no more. Yeah. And I'm one that used to be like, man, I ain't into this political blah blah blah. Man, them policies affect our lives every day. Yeah. And them people are affecting our lives every day. We gotta do our stuff. Like, we still got to go out and let love have the last word and spread all the love, but we also got to, that love comes through also in policy change and voting. Yeah. So, 2020, we got to identify the people and go vote for them.
Make sure y'all get that book too. The book is already available, correct?
Yeah, the book is out right now. Let Love Have the Last Word, and the audio book I did, which we scored it with some music. But as we talked about, yes, I got to also have an album that's coming out called Let Love Have the Last Word. It'll be out this summer. The first single is called Her Love, produced by the late great Jay Dilla, who is a producer who I worked with, is incredible. And the song is featuring Daniel Caesar.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So it's dope.
I gotta
man.
hear that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I gotta hear that. You got Daniel Caesar on that. I gotta hear that one,
that
man.
dude is dope, man. So it's dope. I think you'll dig it. It's got something to do with hip hop and hip hop now. So.
Yeah.